Guys, we have game number 3 on our hands. It is going to be Marinelord at the right-hand side corner of the screen, playing the English. The map is, by the way, the map is Hill and Dale. And at the left-hand side of the map, spawning in the red, it is Probe playing the English as well. So it's going to be another mirror matchup. Game 3 is very exciting over here. So that's looking really cool overall. I'm going to just very quickly advertise this, okay? So we're gonna just go into this right now. Let's just see the whole map because we don't need to see the perspectives of each of those players. Let's look at the layout because this is a very interesting map. It's also a very defensive one. I think they have picked this map so they kind of adjusted the civ picks to what they're doing. And this is a very good map for having archers, maybe like lots of defensive infrastructure. It's also a great map for all those turtly civilizations, I think. So you can just basically, you know, build a couple of walls over here, and over here, and you're virtually safe from any sort of aggression of your opponent. So it's a very nice position. So depending on the civilization you're playing, you will have a decent possibility to just kind of stay in here and just macro up into infinity. That's why I think like Chinese are actually very decent in this map, but Chinese are very difficult to play. I think people have not mastered them, so I don't think they have the courage to risk losing their tournament spot playing anything other than the stuff that they know. For that reason, Probe and Marinelord are playing the English actually, so it's pretty cool, and we shall see how exactly it is going to go. So, looking at this particular map over here, yeah, we're just gonna see a very quick age up. I think we're gonna see the age up to feudal relatively soon. Both players have actually acquired enough gold, I think, to age up. Yeah, and they're just going to shift those villagers to other resources. Actually, this one here is gonna stick around. I think you just want to build a landmark at this point, right? Just kind of go get the landmark with those villagers from gold, because you do not really need gold until very late onto feudal, where you just want to get the tech up, and where you want to probably just maybe make some preparations for going up to castle. So they'll just be focusing heavily on archers, I believe, maybe some horsemen in the mix as well. It seems like that's going to be indeed the case. We shall see how exactly this matchup pans out. I have not seen English versus English before being played, so I played a few English versus English games in the stress test, because I did play quite a few of English games overall. But this particular matchup at the very high level is going to be very peculiar. We have a single villager actually going towards the sun already for Probe, and I think it's going to be very likely to be matched by the other player over here. Yeah, over here. So, yeah, there's going to be the villager probably... Oh, no, he's just going to start walling, actually. So there's a very different approach. So, Probe going for walls, Marinelord over here going for just the stone, getting those, getting this second TC as soon as he can, I guess. Probe also sends 4 villagers. They kind of, I think, looks like a handshake almost that you're going to go play late. Although, like, it's obviously a very large defender's advantage for any English player who is at home. And the reason for that being is that basically if you're at home, you can just spam out those archers from your council hall. So any aggression is just going to be met with, you know, very, very painful response. And I don't think there is a possibility for someone like for someone who does have large military advantage to just kind of go out and aggress. So you can see here that basically both players have walled off. Probe has a little bit better map, I guess, because he has the wood line over here, which should be solid. It should be impenetrable for the unit, so there is no way for you know, enemies to pass through here. So both players are just gonna kind of, I guess they're gonna bunker up, and they're going to try to play for late. So Marinelord over here is actually not going to get any walls so far. I think he just realizes, like, no matter what happens, like, there is no way you can attack, like, unless you just mess up really hard and you get like super outnumbered. You have all the time in the world to just kind of spam out archers and just defend this position on the hill. So Probe is keeping tabs on this. He's actually scouting quite diligently. He sees the second TC coming up, so he knows, you know, no sneaky aggression. Because we also have seen like that there was another build like early on in the ladder where you just kind of take the council hall and just take it to your opponent like all the way throughout the map, and, you know, build like over here, for instance, right, and just start attacking very early on. But this is something that is very risky. It's super all-in-y. and you would probably need to sneak into the enemy's base to do this. Like, you could probably have done this like going over here just with a villager. It would have been super meta, by the way, just kind of getting a vill, getting it behind your opponent, just kind of getting this council or trying to harass. But obviously, you do not benefit from the network of castles as playing against English, so that is very low chances for you to succeed, actually, unless your opponent either just goes across the map themselves or messes up royally. So I would say very safe play from both players, very correct approach as well. I like what they're doing here, just kind of playing safe and sound, and they are just going to be able to perhaps, perhaps just play a longer game again, right? That's what it seems to be. That's what seems to be the case for both of them. They're just going to kind of go up to castle probably even, and just kind of just macro up play from there. Because I don't think there's like a decent way for anybody really to penetrate through those walls, right? I mean, you can just kind of get spears and try to force something, but I don't think this is the right way to do things. So what I believe is going to be the case is they're just going to play a chill, longer game. This is a map that is super turtly, that benefits players who play macro. But there are also, the good thing about this map is there are like relatively few resources in your base. So once you kind of exhaust those, you have to go out on the map and start harvesting from the outside, kind of the sources over here. Like, so there are lots of gold deposits, stone, you know, there are berry bushes as well outside. There's a hunt, there is a boar as well, or 2 boars actually. 2 hands, so it's a lot of resources to contest, right? That's what I mean. But actually getting there is going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of risk to that reward, because the archers can really just kind of run up to your workers and just snipe a lot of them very, very quickly if you have decent kind of calculation as to how many archers it takes to kill a single villager, of course. You know, coming with zero defense, 50 health is kind of easy to do the math, I guess. So you can just basically say, like, 8 villagers should be able to one-shot them. 8 archers should be able to one-shot the villager. And that is probably what's going to happen here. You can see, by the way, this is actually walled off by Probe as well, so he gets the single final wall over here. I guess he's going to gear up for something happening later, because right now, you have 3 archers coming out from Marinelord, just kind of, like, pretending to be aggressive, and Probe is going to respond in kind. He's just going to, as I said, defender's advantage, spamming out those English archers over here on the hill. And once those 3 archers arrive, they're just going to get met with a lot of aggression from Probe. He doesn't need much. He probably needs like 3-4 archers of his own to repel this stuff completely and make it sound like an absolute joke, right? So we see here the scout of Probe just kind of getting the vision on those archers. Obviously a bad idea to attack, because the archers can fight back very well as the English. So he might just lose this scouting because he has to run through, and he's gonna, oh my goodness, he has 1 HP left, but what he's gonna run into is another TC, he's just gonna die, right? There's just no way he survives unless Marinelord just falls asleep completely. He doesn't fall asleep, he takes that scout. It's very big, because getting scouting information early on is really crucial. And if he were to just kind of keep this scout alive for longer, he would have definitely been able to obtain a large advantage, right? That's not happening though, and we see that Marinelord is actually getting, just kind of comfortable over here in this base. He's probably just going to wall off this as well, just going to set up some archers just to defend this gap. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, do you guys think they're going to fast castle here? We haven't seen fast castle done, like, even a single time yet. We see blacksmith, actually, they're actually attacking up, not, so there's a wheelbarrow getting researched, for instance, here, right? So there's a lot of this kind of mild tech. We saw that gold, so specialized pick being researched as well. We have probably the double broadaxe coming soon. So there's a lot of economy kind of going up for both players, and they do not dare to leave their kind of designated bases, right? Marinelord kind of escapes a little bit towards this bottom part. He probably will have like a scout to cover this area later. He's just gonna go for a hunt as well over here. Probe not so lucky, he has a gold outside of his base though, so does Marinelord though. So we have like a very decent macro matchup right now. I think they're just gonna kind of play here. They use the setup camp, where they set up camp. So they just set up the camp, and they get some healing done as well. So you have a lot of decent macro going on, I guess. So both players, I think, are going for a lot of eco. Probe just finishes the wheelbarrow as we speak. No specialized pick here, and there is probably not going to be the wood upgrade either yet. Nope. So there is no actual harvesting tag going for Marinelord, other than getting that hunting upgrade over here. So say what you will, that's going to be a very slow game. Guys, welcome, by the way, welcome to the stream. Those of you who haven't actually been here before, if you are curious, we are streaming a lot of tournaments today. If you're interested, please give a consideration to, first of all, leaving me a like and subscribing on YouTube if you're there. And if you're on Twitch, follow me on Twitch and also go to my YouTube channel. Check it out. We have a lot of cool videos about Age of Empires. I have a cool video premiering tomorrow about hotkeys, for instance, so self-advertising done. Continuing with the game, guys. We are going to check out the villager numbers. 47 for Probe, and Marinelord is going to be on 50, so very close numbers altogether. Probe kind of slightly behind, I'm not sure why. I think he must have been like a little bit slower to the stone. That's why. We do not see third, that's actually peculiar, we do not see third TC from either of the players yet, I think. Though Marinelord is going to set up for it. He has 392 stone. He's going to just kind of go to the middle of the map, maybe even, and try to establish some sort of a base outside of his main city. Oh no, he's actually... no, they're playing English. They're going to play it safe. Ingo, I think there's an official stream on Twitch. There are also a lot of streamers kind of talking and shoutcasting those games. I'm not sure who is streaming this game other than me, though, so not sure. Not 100% certain as to what is the case here. So as you guys can see over here, we have a very large economy for both players. We have two very large economies actually, and Probe is actually not going towards that next TC. Probe is actually going to go towards the age up though, whereas Marinelord going the other path. He's going to get the third town center somewhere outside on the map, I believe. Yeah, it seems to be the case. Right? Marinelord is just going to get the third TC. He has dropped it somewhere already. Yeah, in the back over here. On that gold, securing and just kind of making more villagers. So triple will production to double, of course, triple wins. Pro has no way of scouting this, has no way of knowing there's going to be a triple third TC over here at the back of Marinelord's base. So it looks like there's going to be a very, very stable matchup over here. And Pro is actually able to age up. He probably should do this ASAP. He's also saying those villagers over here. Question mark? Stables? What is he doing? Like he's building quadruple stables, triple stables that is, but he's not gonna go for that upgrade yet. So he's gonna actually go for a defensive. I'm not sure if this is the valid approach here, honestly. Like I don't think there's a big threat actually going to kind of come out on the side of Marinelord. So Probe could definitely just age up behind all this, but I think he just decides to err on the side of caution. He's getting those extra stables, and he's going to be playing this very, very cautiously. In fact. You can see actually there are like so many archers here. There are like, what, 11 archers of Pro just out of position, so he's not going to be able to defend this properly for now. He actually spends a lot to age up. He's aging up somewhere, okay? He's aging up somewhere. He gets a King's Palace, actually. That's going to be his economic landmark. That's going to be a very good TC that is going to provide you with another possibility of creating villagers. So he's gonna expand over here at the bottom, and Marinelord going for the White Tower. So defensive landmark here at the entrance to his main base. It's gonna be such a heavy macro game, man. Because those guys, unless they make like a huge macro mistake somehow, and they just kind of commit to a fight they shouldn't have committed to, like we have seen with Hagrid, for instance, today, I think. They're just going to fight into infinity. We have 4 horsemen, 6 horsemen right now, lots more being made, I guess, at some point. As I'm not sure about this, because like Probe was safe. I think he just kind of was scared and made those horsemen. I don't think he needs them in the first place. I don't think he needs more horsemen. Though, I guess defensively dealing with those archers might be a good idea. I don't mind it, actually. I don't mind it at all. So he's going to run up a little bit. He's going to just secure this position. And maybe just going to try to push out those archers, but I'm not sure, like, why would you go horsemen if you have like a very good opportunity to just kind of age up and go for those really strong knights that English have? I'm not really sure about this at all. I guess Probe has a plan. Probe is a better player than me. You see, he's alive in the tournament. I'm not, so I guess he knows what he's doing. Getting those horsemen is going to be the poison of his choice, I guess. He's also getting the armor, the archer armor here, so you're going to have a lot of ranged defense. Remember, guys, in Age of Empires 4 units have 2 types of defense. You have the ranged and the melee armor. Getting the ranged armor against English is a very good idea, as I have already said, because everything and their mother on the English side shoots arrows, right? So this is very important for you to have that sort of security going. Getting those defenses is very, very crucial. Both players in H3, by the way, so they're going to get those veteran longbows, I guess. Oh, probably doesn't have them yet, so he has no tech up, so he should probably not be moving out. Veteran Horsemen being made? Yeah, there's an upgrade queued up here for the Horsemen, and probably there's going to be another one for the Veteran Archers, but it's not being queued up either, so he's working with the feudal units, and he's moving out. That's not a wise choice against someone who is already in Castle Age themselves, which is the case for Marinelord, honestly. So Marinelord is gonna go for like this kind of macro play. I think in StarCraft 2 you just build pylons across the board. So like you go for a pylon over here, for instance, you go for a pylon over here. So you just kind of get those to scout what the enemies are doing, right? So you can kind of get decent vision on the map and decide as to what exactly the plan is. For Marinelord, of course, it is going to have something to do with I guess just going to imp. I don't know. Like I don't think these guys can get any aggression down with with the amount of defenses, the way this map works. So Probe is gonna try to raid with those veteran horsemen to be. They're veteran horsemen now. They just the upgrade just went through, so he's gonna just kind of commit a little bit of those horsemen to kill a few villagers. I'm not sure how many he gets. Actually, he gets one at least. He gets two. Maybe two. That's weird. Like if he got only one, that's really bad. Obviously, again, archers, English, not a good idea to harass unless you have a very good plan for the game, right? So here, this attack just did 0 damage. This is a terrible move by Pro, just throwing away units. You know, obviously that's a large macro game, so it's not a bad. That's not a terrible sign, but it's like, you know, losing 600 food, or like I think it's like maybe 700 even. No, 600 food and a lot of gold for nothing is never good, right? It's never going to benefit you too much. Probe should also be going for some sort of tech upgrades, I guess. He has one upgrade for melee, one upgrade for ranged, and he has maxed out those defenses against the archers. Whereas Marinelord he has maxed out the both range attack and defense. He's actually now going to tech up into melee units as well. He's actually poising again, aggressively going towards the middle of the map and trying to take over this particular board. Probe is actually has established like a nice defensive structure over here, which is just gonna get a Mangana as well. So it's actually a very good idea against archers. Like getting like 2-3 Manganas, definitely going to benefit you as well. But throwing away horsemen is not, and he has thrown 800 food into like basically down the drain right now, which is never good. I'm surprised because honestly, horsemen are hot garbage against what his opponent has. If he's gonna go, I would go knights, man. I would really like to see a few knights, especially if he has no other good uses for the gold right now. Maybe the mangos, of course, mangos could be good, but how? I don't know. I have no idea how this matchup works. Honestly, we'll see how those guys play it out. But it seems to be the case that you know, having horsemen and mangoes might be a decent way to go. I have no idea. Probe is actually getting a lot of production here. And that's scary because this is right in the face of Marinelord, right? He's actually moving up with his Mangonel as well. He has a Spriggled. So both players really kind of getting a lot of those siege units, getting like some sort of anti-siege as well, just getting prepared to get into that large encounter and maybe the fight that decides the game. There are 2 Spriggles, by the way, on the side of Marinelord. Both players are actually spending every single inch of resources that they have. The food has been really at the lowest for the past like 2-3 minutes, and they're getting a decent army composition. I guess if you can produce so many horsemen, this starts making sense. Like he has like 15 right now. It's decent army numbers, and there are 2 Manganas, by the way. Like they're setting up around those units. There are very few pikes actually on the side of Marinelord right here, so we might see a fight. Those Manganas are setting up. One of them actually does take down the Spriggled, I guess. There's a little bit of damage coming out from the Mangana here, but it is sniped as well. I don't think this favors, this doesn't favor Probe at all, man. It's like really bad for Probe. He's gonna get a little bit of damage on the archers of the Mangana, so that's actually benefiting him quite a bit. He does get the Mangana's opponent. He's actually just gonna disengage and heal. And that's what we said about Defender's Advantage in Age of Empires 4. You cannot just kind of warp units in like Protoss do in Age of Empires, sorry, in StarCraft 2. So the fact that Probe is like in his own base, and he's actually producing units from his own base, means that he's going to have like a continued stream of units that is going to be way stronger, whatever his opponent is going to be able to pull off. Obviously, maybe getting that network of castles and outposts would have been also nice for Probe. Like getting that single outpost here would probably give him that bonus, and he would be able to just kind of play to the maximum of his potential. This lone Mangana, though, it's weird. I don't like it. There's a lot of resources Probe might just throw away once again. Villager-wise, 113 economy for Probe. and 102 for Marinelord, so Probe slightly in the advantage here. As far as the technology goes, 2 upgrades for fertilization here for Probe. He has the wheelbarrow, he has... I would wager he has everything he can have right at this point. Yeah, he has every single eco upgrade. Marinelord is actually not there. He has no lumber preservation yet. He probably has, let me see the farm. He has got the farming upgrade though, so that is actually working towards his advantage, but he's slightly behind in the wood tech. And it probably should show in the income per minute. Yeah, probably is actually sitting at 1800 wood per minute and way more food as well overall. I'm not sure what they're gonna do now. Are we gonna just go aggressive here or no? Look at this. They're actually making like 1,000 something food per minute. Like 2 minutes, if they don't produce anything, they should be able to go to in, but they're just kind of too scared, I guess. Probe did take a... I think he was at a very bad position there going to that into the previous fight. Right now, he moves across the map. He again has inferior numbers. There are like 2 Spriggles, 3 Spriggles, 2 Mangonels as well. That's very bad for Probe. That's a terrible fight to take. He should not be here. Seriously, this is like the worst fight he can ever take as the English, because he has also been exposed to those Mangonels. 2 Mangonels, 3 Spriggles. You should never take this. That's just a terrible call. And he's not going to make the most out of it at all. He's going to lose a lot of those archers at the back end of this as he's disengaging from this position. Honestly, attacking... okay, we have more like cavalry. I don't know what's up with him. I don't like this at all, but if it works for him, it works for him, I guess. He drops some of those fireplaces to just kind of heal as he moves. But he needs like another siege workshop to deal with those Spriggles, I guess, because he needs to snipe them out or he's just going to be taken advantage of. We see those light cav actually moving back, moving from the back over here. They're attacking the archers, spread out nicely. So actually it's a nice fight from that regard, but Probe is taking a lot of AoE damage from those Mangonels as well. There are 2 Mangonels firing at those archers. He's not spread well enough. There's another 2 shots come down. Oh wow, he splits up beautifully last second. And those horsemen actually at the back end of this fight are making this work for him. So once again, this defender's advantage, those archers from Probe are getting the network of castles bonus as well, I think. No, they're just healing. And they're actually going to be able to probably prevail. So it was a very good flank number 2 from Probe. This works way better than the previous fight. He gets a lot done here with this really cheap horseman. He's actually going to be continuing production here. And yeah, he's alive in the game, and Probe is actually at a better position. Like, he took a very favorable engagement here. He has decent tech, basically matching his opponent in upgrades. And they're just fighting here again. Like, they're just kind of trying to push. They're playing the tug of war right now. Like, in the middle of the map, they're just kind of meeting with those rally points, I guess. And they're trying to play the tug of war against one another, and it is really not looking too great. In terms of like the game's length, because it seems like this is going to last forever. Obviously, there are two monks. Hello, question mark, monks? F2A move, guys. That was F2A. You just select all units and move throughout the map. That's what happens. Don't do this with your monks or you lose your monks. That is a lot of lost resources. However, Marinelord manages to sneak Imperial Age up ahead of his opponent through this. Obviously, Probe not far away from his age up, I guess, but Marinelord does get his age up first, and this is looking quite grim for Probe as he tries to push across the map, because those Imperial upgrades are just gonna come very soon, I believe. We have a lot of spearmen coming through as well. You can have probably the university dropped very soon, get that extra ranged attack, and this is looking really nice for... yeah, this is looking very nice for Marinelord, honestly. This turns the game on its head, because finally Probe cannot actually keep up the aggression anymore. I mean, there's... Okay, the imp upgrades do take a long time to upgrade, so to get, you know, those elite archers is going to be quite a challenge. But what Marinelord is actually doing is also going for the arrow volley, which is the unique Imperial tech, I think, which allows your archers to fire faster. It's basically like the Marines from from StarCraft 2. So you can stim your archers quite a bit and get a decent advantage through that. There should be an archery range somewhere also working toward the favor of Probe. He's actually going to use those horsemen to push again. I'm not sure I agree with this. Like, if I'm Probe right now, I probably just back off. I get to establish my position. There's the Bagship Palace as well here put down by Probe, so it protects this area. I'm not sure, honestly. Why doesn't he just drop the Bagship Palace over here? Just kind of get this, since he's attacking anyway. Why doesn't he just drop it over here? Just kind of get a stranglehold of this position in the middle of the map. Maybe secure the sacred site, you know, just get some relics as well, and just kind of play defensively. I think that's kind of the play here if you're Probe. He has those 2 traders as well coming from Marinelord, so I think Marinelord decides to get some extra economy macro on the map. Probe does... no, that's actually Marinelord's keep on the middle of the map as well, so this is kind of a mistake. I think if you had this Berkshire Palace here, there would have been no question about getting that keep in the middle. So we're getting into this very, very Imperial late game. It's going to be late Imp. I guess those guys are getting the veteran longbowmen and upgrade them, I guess, from vets to... where's the upgrade for Marinelord, actually? I don't know. So they might be getting those Imperial upgrades very soon, so the elites are gonna come out. Probe's gonna lose a few of those villagers over here. I'm not sure why he's getting those villagers to this particular position. Maybe he just wagers that this is gonna be a long game. He just kind of needs to have like some goal taken away from his opponent. That's a very risky call. He could have very well just kind of gone across the map. He does a little bit of damage. I guess some villagers might have died over here, but it's a very, very passive game right now overall. Like, there's some mega harassment going throughout from Marinelord and from Pro, but they're just kind of keeping their positions and holding on to where they are. 124 economy for Pro, that's sick, man, and 120 for Marinelord, so I don't think they're gonna be getting more workers anytime soon. There's this huge force of cavalry actually going across here. They might catch down these archers, catch these villages. All of them actually are very exposed. Probe is not paying attention though. He doesn't see them. He doesn't get that. What is he doing, man? He could have just gotten here. He could have killed like 6-7 villages by now. He doesn't do this and actually allows Marinelord to establish those castles. And as we have already said, those castles are very, very important to the English, right? Okay, so we have those, oh, that's good. Okay, he runs those horsemen into the main base of Marinelord. He's going to do some damage here, I guess, in the end. Because this is a very large attack. He's gonna throw away, like, 2,300, 3,000 food, which he can totally afford at this point, so it's not a bad call. He's going to just try to kill as many villagers as he can, right? He's gonna split those horsemen into, like, small divisions. He's going to kill a little bit of economy of his opponent. But honestly, they're working with such huge banks right now, and so many TCs, that I don't think this matters too much. So yeah, the English are actually just batting their heads against one another, and Pro probably didn't want to invest too much into horsemen anymore. Did he? Maybe he's getting elite upgrade actually, because I don't see it here. And English have elite upgrade for sure somewhere, so he's actually gonna keep investing. I was wrong. He's gonna keep investing in the elite. Yeah, he does. So those elite horsemen are actually going to do some more damage here. They're actually wreaking havoc over here. And we can have a look at the university upgrades, because we did spot the university. Actually, Marinelord did decide to not get any big upgrades yet. I think he has a lot to unlock here actually. So we have lots of infantry upgrades. We have the burning arrows. We have the biology. All those are very, very big upgrades overall. He's gonna go for burning arrows first. So incendiary arrows, of course, is going to give you a lot of extra range damage. I don't know what Probe is doing actually. I'm very curious as to where he has the university in the first place. If he does, what exactly is going to be his choice of tech? Because I'm gonna admit it, like, if you don't have university as Probe, you are in a little bit of trouble. You're in a little bit of a pickle. I don't see it honestly. I don't have the hotkey bond here right now to kind of select it for Probe, so I'm not sure what he's doing with that. But he doesn't seem to have one in the first place. You can see how nicely this base from Pro has actually been laid out, so he's been able to kind of produce a lot of units, to kind of get a lot of infrastructure here towards the left-hand side of the map. He has a nice little setup here. Those are, by the way, 2 bombers, I think? Yeah, he has bombers kind of coming towards this keep, and the keep has no emplacement, so it might be actually a nice opportunity. But yeah, he's gonna lose 1 bomber, I think here. No, he's actually gonna back off. There are lots of elite spears, by the way, coming from his opponent from Marinelord, and we have that. I think he activates that arrow volley. If he doesn't, he's being silly. Actually, neither of the players activate the volley, I think. They should just do. Why are they to get? Oh, that's a very big. I think this is a big mistake from both. Obviously, Probe has a decent advantage having the defenders advantage as the English, right? Having the network of castles, but neither of the players have actually used the volley at all. So they had both of them had this accessible, and they could have just done that, but they did not. I think that's just kind of a big micro mistake overall. Getting that going is a decent advantage for you. And we're just kind of going towards the stage at which we're mining out the entire map. That's a very different map from what we've seen. Dry Arabia promotes those aggressive short games, whereas maps such as Hill and Dale, that is, they promote very long games, kind of macro oriented, and they're just gonna be fighting over objectives right now, because this map, don't get me wrong guys, this map is going to eventually mine out. There's probably like, you know, a limited amount of gold here. Obviously 8,000 here is a lot. This is gonna be a while until it mines out. It is going to mine out eventually. So we're working with some sort of finite resources. So, you know, at this point, I guess if you are playing the macro game and you have some APM to spare, you should probably look into maybe getting the relics out of the map. I'm pretty sure there's like one here, for instance, that has not been picked up. You should be looking towards the sacred sites as well, you know, just getting that extra gold income, especially if you have a keep on top of it. There is no reason not to be getting that. You can also see that Marinelord is actually macroing up a lot. He has like, what, 8 archery ranges being built over here. So any sort of kind of losses that those players inflict upon each other are just going to be mostly negated really quickly afterwards, right? Because they have so much so much production. Actually, it's insanity, guys. It's a very, very crazy game, and we have like this big force of units in the middle of the map. There are no trebuchets, but there are like 2 bombers here. I guess if you are a Marinelord, you're just gonna start sieging onto this keep. But you know, those bombard cannons are very good at that. So there are no springles going on, kind of coming through. However, a probe is actually going to start raiding this left-hand side. I'm not sure what he's trying to find here, honestly, because he has no villagers over here. He's going to just forfeit his castle, which is obviously not great. Stone is a very finite resource on this map, so you can turtle all you want, but stone is going to run out eventually, and you will have limited number of defensive infrastructure. So it's very, very big that this keep goes down. It also opens the map a lot for Marinelord. At the bottom though, here we see Probe actually attacking. He has a single cannon attacking this keep over here, probably forcing his opponent to come down, and also those horsemen here might be raiding, though he again misses the mark of the villagers. In terms of the general macro play, looks like Marinelord has taken like about 70% of the map with his own infrastructure right now, so it's actually favoring him a little bit. Though this is going to be a very prolonged game with a lot of production, so it is nothing that has been decided yet. It's crazy though. This is the most insane game I've cast so far today. By the way, you can see that Probe has no gold bank, right? So while he's able to actually just kind of defend this quite nicely, it means he's able to actually put some pressure on. He has, first of all, he doesn't have any university tech, it seems, and second of all, he doesn't have the gold, because all the gold patches are at the north side of the map, and he just relinquished the keep over here. We see the fight over here, of course, breaking out. And those archers from Marinelord have that fire attack, so they're very, very strong. I cannot do this anymore, Hunt, because I did actually change my hotkeys. I have F2 booked to like kind of snap to target, which I used to kind of navigate the minimap, so I don't have that anymore. I just manually hotkey my university, so I can't do this. I'm not sure where the uni is though, like, so it's kind of weird. I'm not going to kind of mess with hotkeys in the middle of the match, but especially that there's a lot of harassment going down, so you have those knights running into Marinelord's base, running into his economy. Hopefully they're going to wreak some havoc, they're going to do some damage, because at this point, right, this is going to be a long game, so the more damage you do right now, the more it's going to pay dividends into the later stages of the game. So you have to just force losses from your opponents. But there are 2 man gun elements over here, and they're just going to start shooting at these archers of Pro. Pro just has to relinquish this position again. He's using those active skills quite well. There are no arrow volleys. Okay, so as you guys can see, actually Marinelord is using the arrow volleys. He's getting that extra bonus attack speed. That's really crazy. So they're just shooting like insane. Look at this. That's a huge volley. It's just gonna completely clear out those archers. However, the Probe actually has been able to get a lot of kills on the villagers of Marinelord, so he's doing damage to the economy of his opponent. He's actually handling this game quite well so far. It's hard to determine who's going to be the winner. However, technology-wise, given that, you know, one of those players has the university, the other does not, it seems to be favoring Marinelord so far. But this is something you can fix very easily. Just build a uni, get those upgrades, get going. Probe is a university student. He should know what he's doing here. It's very weird he has not upgraded those fire arrows yet. He should know that this is the way to do it, though. And he's actually massing those horsemen right now, so he's actually trading efficiently with that. You know, granted, he has a very large gold shortage. That's probably like the only thing that he can do. He has 13,000 food though, so he's just going to be massing those horsemen. He's going to probably just kind of be trading inefficiently, but he's just going to be using those to push his advantage, right? The fact of the matter is, though, he doesn't have that many left. Those bombers are exposed, and he's losing units, right? So it's actually not a good idea to stick around, especially that there is a keep going up from Marinelord. So this middle of the map position is threatened by his opponent. Yeah, Probe is just kind of going to go back to the defensive position over here, and he seems to be relinquishing a lot of ground. Again, those archers still without any solid tech, so it's going to be quite scary. There's a single mango in the back as well, and there are 2 spriggles to threaten the artillery fire. which is looking like a decent deal. Obviously, those bombers are doing quite a lot of damage, to be honest. So he has a decent position still, but he's just kind of bleeding out resources at this point. Like, he has a lot of food though, so it's not like he's going to completely lose this game off the back of this. But he should probably just chill, because he's just throwing resources in like a stream of them, right? So what he should probably do is he just kind of go back right now, reinvent himself a little bit, just get a little bit more horsemen, I guess, or even knights. I would really love to see knights here, but Probe cannot afford them. He has like 1.5k gold only, so he probably cannot even get the upgrade and build many knights to, or enough knights to actually afford fighting these archers. And actually, that's a good possibility if you are playing, you know, if you kind of decide towards cavalry, your opponent recognizes that you can just do a switch towards men-at-arms, right? That's another possibility. You can just go towards the MAAs. Just, oh, okay, this is another huge setup for Marinelord though. You can just go towards the MAA. They take very little damage from archers, because archers have like low damage comparably to the armor that the MAA have. They should probably just be fine working like this. By the way, the damage difference is 2, so it's not like huge, but it's going to accrue over time, I guess. So unless Probe just gets those fiery arrows from the uni at some point, he's going to steadily be losing this game, right? So it's kind of a big deal for the English player to kind of retain the control, have the decent tech matching their opponents, unless they really just want to lose. We have those 2 bombers actually attacking the economy question mark. I'm not sure what they're doing, but there's a huge keep here that's just kind of getting all those units of Probe siege. And you can see Probe actually using those fireplaces, still not using the arrow volley. I don't think he's actually used the arrow volley once this game, which is a very large disadvantage for him. Because, yeah, there's just lots of DPS that he's wasting, right? Whereas, you know, Marinelord, you know, he uses that basically on cooldown, so he's just kind of doing the right thing. He's kind of using those, like, Marines in StarCraft 2, and he's actually just getting a very nice fight over here again. Probe is obviously spamming out horsemen. He has a lot of resources to spend, and those units are really dirt cheap. So he's just mass-producing archers and mass-producing cav. And the nice part about this is actually he doesn't spend any gold at all, and Marinelord's out of wood. So that's a problem for him, actually. So Probe can actually just kind of spam out all those units, and as long as he just kind of macros out semi-decently, he's going to be able to just kind of outproduce his opponent. What Marinelord can do, however, is actually just either do like this kind of trade trash a lot, just kind of go for a knight transition later and just kind of maybe work around that. Because he has a lot of gold to spend, he can just kind of do a full knight transition at some point. Or just, you know, start buying wood, because he has to get some wood anyway. He has like very low wood resource, so he has very low wood bank, and he's, you know, he probably needs to get some more wood to keep producing those archers and spears. So it seems like maybe Probe has actually a decent position here, but Probe is spending his resources very rapidly. Look, he had 10k like, you know, a minute ago, he has 6k, now 7k. So he's actually losing quite a bit of an army. Marinelord, let's look at the eco very fast. 95 archer, 95 eco for Marinelord and 113 for Probe. So he's actually getting a lot of income stream. You can see that Marinelord actually getting more food, but there is way more wood on the side of Probe actually, and he's actually not getting any gold at all. I'm not sure about this actually. I'm not sure if I like it or no. But what do you do, right? What do you do if you have like no gold access? He has to get this, I think. He just has to siege some sort of a position, get a castle down maybe or something. Get this gold and just start mining it. I don't think he has any other choice. And the problem is there are like 2 castles over here. They have ridiculous range. There are no emplacements on them yet, but you know, they're just very strong buildings. So if Probe cannot break this very, very soon, because he's very low on food, like he's losing a lot of food. Never mind, he's not. He just, okay, I'm wrong. What he can do right now, he can just build like some extra stables. He just needs extra production right now, and he can be fine. So he needs to kind of get going here, I suppose. What happened to those to that tech? Where is that? Where are those? I think it's a spectator bag or something. Where is the arrow volley? Okay, it's here for Marinelord. Probe maybe just doesn't have it. By the way, look at this. He still doesn't have the university upgrade. So late into the game. I think that's just really going to decide this game, because that extra 20% DPS that you get from university, and also extra HP for the host units, right? It is a lot. It's actually a decent bonus. So not having that is a very large waste. Obviously, Probe is getting pushed back right now, and Marinelord is actually relentless in his aggression. The important thing to realize as well is that, you know, he still has, Marinelord that is, he still has what? A large number of stables. Let's see how many stables he has. He's 5 stables, so he can actually start. He's doing this. I told you guys, he's gonna do a night switch to just deliver the killing blow. So he's actually been able to accumulate a lot of gold. So he probably wants to trade out as many units as he can and just replace anything that he's losing with knights. There are already 2 elite knights at the front line over here. Well, that's what Probe actually realizes probably as well. So he does need to start building pikes to deal with that. He probably gets a lot. Look, he's getting a lot of barracks here. So you probably understand that this is the case. Like, we're getting the tech switch towards the knights. We need some extra. We need some extra power here. Obviously, wow, that's a very bad situation for Pro because he's running out of food as well. Look at this, Marinelord. He's been trading way more efficiently because of those upgrades. And Probe is not doing too hot at all, man. He is losing a lot of those resources. He has been spending that food like crazy, and he has not been able to accomplish anything because those horsemen, they're not the greatest unit in the world. Marinelord is supply capped and Probe is sitting on 180, and I do not think this is going to improve anytime soon. Obviously there's a mango coming as well that might help to relieve the pressure, but there are like 4 spriggles at the back for Marinelord, so I think he's just more than happy just kind of sit back there and enjoy. Whereas Probe, I don't think he even has the tech. Maybe he just doesn't even have the tech for the archers, which is weird. He doesn't have the volley, man. That's actually he would have had such a nice opportunity in this game if he had just done 2 things. He needs the volley, and he really needs that university, but he doesn't do this. He's getting absolutely obliterated right now. He doesn't have enough archers even to match what his opponent is doing. And yeah, he's just going to get, I think, sniped by those spriggles because they're just shooting far away, and Marinelord is just going to keep pushing. I think he spent some of that gold to buy the stone, and he's just going to get this one up. He's just going to build a keep here. He's just going to get the benefit from the network of castles, and you know, he's just going to keep pressuring. Like, there is nothing left for Probe. Like, he has no food, he has no gold, he has no wood, and he's basically back against the wall in his own base. With a very large upgrade disadvantage and very little plan for the late game, whereas Marinelord sitting on 8,000 gold, guys. He's going to just eke out a win eventually. It's looking like crazy, like that's a very long game, guys, but Marinelord is actually going to take it eventually, I think. A quick reminder, if you're enjoying yourselves, if you like the stream, please consider subscribing to me on YouTube and also dropping me a follow on Twitch, because I'm going to be casting a lot of games in the coming weeks and days. I'm also going to be playing Age of Empires 4 actively, so yeah, just stay tuned for more if you're interested in casts and in other content like this. This being said, we have a push. I think that's the game-ending push coming out from Hero Marine. He has a lot in the bank as well. That's basically the equivalent of having a large economy behind, in StarCraft 2, just kind of having a bank that you sit on like a Zerg almost, right? And you're just able to instantaneously reproduce anything that you lose for a long period of time. And you know, Hero Marine just has it right now. He has a lot of bank, he has a huge tech advantage, and obviously Probe is just unable to produce any more units. So that's a very scary situation. There's also elite men at arms, there are elite knights coming in, there's a lot of gold still to be spent for Hero Marine. It doesn't look like there is anything that he can really do. Those 2 villagers from Probe that were trying to mine this gold over here are also getting pressured out by the keep. There are so many keeps, man. There are like so many keeps from Marinelord. He's actually getting a huge stranglehold on his opponent, and it looks like he's just going to be able to win this. So he backs off for the time being, I guess. Probe is sitting on 160 supply to 200 of Marinelord with that huge, ridiculous bank at the same time. So what you can do is, if you are Marinelord right now, is just go for the production. I just kind of try to eliminate any sort of possibilities for Probe to remake those units. You can see how vicariously Probe is spending his resources, but he's just so short of them. He's really just not getting anything done. There are spriggles, so even though he has this artillery over here, I don't think this is gonna matter because those spriggles are just gonna kill those Rebaldicans, and they're just gonna, yeah, that's basically nothing accomplished with those very expensive gold units. So Probe probably just going to forfeit very soon, right? He's getting pressured over here, so he's losing the production over here. He's getting pressured from the north as well. There are also, I thought he was getting raided, but that's not the case. But he just has so little left. 83 economy for Marinelord, and that's gonna be cut it. He's to the finals of his bracket, I think, and this is going to be a win. Went for this was insanity, absolutely ridiculous in terms of how long this one went for. And Pro is eliminated from the tournament as well. It's absolutely insane. It's crazy. There are very few players left in the lobby, by the way, because I guess they're just all done, right? There are very few matches being played. I think this was one of the last series, because this one lasted like an hour and a half, almost, I think. So we have cast that very long game. Guys, once again, a reminder, if you did enjoy yourselves, please follow and sub. That's gonna support my stream, of course, gives me a reason to keep going. So, you know, big deal to me, personally. And also, if you're there, just let me know what you think of my casting, because it's also quite important to me. Let's just see the brackets now, right? I think I'm just going to check. So there are basically 3 brackets still playing, but they're basically done, right? There's like a single match at the very end